once again is Vancouver 0, Toronto 0. We're back in a minute to wrap this one up.
Well, it's just past 1 o'clock in the morning, and yes, I look a little sleepy, but I want to get this done, get this video blog up after the Voyageurs Cup game tonight. The 0-0 draw that I just watched in Vancouver, no winner other than Rogers Sportsnet, I think it's fair to say. If TFC would have won this game tonight, of course, that would have been it. That would have been it for the Neutralite and the game next week in Montreal. And then the final game in Toronto in 2 weeks from today wouldn't have mattered anything. So that's why I say that Sportsnet is the only winner tonight in the game for the Neutralite. If TFC would have won, it would have been all over. They looked flat. They looked tired, especially in the last 20 minutes of the game. As a matter of fact, and this is an interesting stat that I heard on the broadcast, TFC only got a shot on net for the first time in the 83rd minute of the game, if you can believe it, from just a straight-on shot from Dero. The first half was depressingly boring, I think it's fair to say. No team had any significant possession or any significant chances to score and take the lead. Frankly, I think the less that's said about the first half of the game, the better. In the second, TFC, especially in the last 20 minutes, to me looked absolutely whipped. They were just beaten down. That's 3 road games in 7-8 days. Montreal last week, of course, Los Angeles away, and now Vancouver. I think obviously the away games, the fact that they're compacted together so much, and the fact that you've got 3 on the hop living out of a suitcase probably really can take your toll. And not having a Julian de Guzman for 2 games in a row is going to take a toll as well. In my humble opinion, de Guzman has been improving significantly game in, game out over the last 5 or 6 that he's played. He's very, very strong on the ball, and he makes it easier for his teammates to do well because of the quality possession and the quality passing that he actually is able to do. I think it actually helps his teammates be just a little bit better. Him not being in there for 2 games makes a lot of his teammates have to work that much harder. I think we're really seeing the fruits of this right now, considering that TFC really didn't have any significant scoring chances. Sanyang, a couple of minutes before Dero got that shot on net in the 83rd, I think in the 80th minute put a really good chance over the top of the net. And Barrett had a bit of a chance off a bit of a flurry in the 87th minute, but again, they weren't able to convert anything. So here we are, 4 games into the Neutralite, and it's still on. Vancouver, of course, has got a pretty simple task. At least they know what the task is. It may not be simple, but at least they know that it's a simple logic. They've just got to win. They've got to win in Montreal next week, and then, of course, they have to go to BMO Field and do the same in 2 weeks' time. A tie in Montreal next week, or if Montreal wins against Vancouver, means that that's it. It's over, and Toronto lifts the trophy in 2 weeks' time. Now, 3 games away and 3 clean sheets in a row for a team that's been struggling all season away is the encouraging thing, most of all, that I'm taking from this road trip. The organization, the fact that the players have been really playing well together, playing off each other really well. The midfielders and strikers have been tracking back. They've been very aggressive off the ball, forcing errors in the other teams. They did a really good job, especially early on in the second half, of really sort of pressuring Vancouver and nipping off in the bud a lot of chances coming out of their midfield to some of their speedier players up top, which is really what they were trying to do, I think, tonight, the Whitecaps. But then again, TFC just started to run out of gas. Like I'm starting to run out of gas right now at 10 after 1 in the morning. But again, 3 games on the hop away and 3 clean sheets augurs well for the future. Now the team heads home and plays an early game against New England on the 22nd. And again, it's going to be, again, 2.5 days from now, because the game is early in the afternoon. So it's going to be very difficult for them to actually win that game, especially with no de Guzman and no Di Rosario in the lineup. De Guzman, of course, has got a hamstring injury right now. I don't think he's going to be going to Argentina to play the friendly in Buenos Aires with Team Canada. D-Ro is heading there, I think, tomorrow, so he's not going to be with Toronto on the weekend. I've been saying this for a while on my other video blogs, and I'm going to continue to say it. We're going to know what kind of team we've got here at the end of the month. Overall, Toronto FC has been surprisingly good. I think if you told me going into this really, really tough stretch of games in May that we'd be here, I'd take it. I'd be pretty pleased with it. Still a few problems and still a few holes to fill, but I think the team is coming together fairly nicely from what I've seen so far. So one final thing that I was thinking about as well is we still hear a lot of whinging out of Vancouver over what happened in the last game of the Neutralite last year, the famous Montreal Miracle. Well, guess what? Next Wednesday, Montreal most likely is going to be playing their scrubs again in a Neutralite game, only this time it's going to be against the Vancouver Whitecaps that they're going to be putting out their scrubs, and not against Toronto FC. I don't think you're going to hear the same level of whinging out of Toronto that you heard out of Vancouver last year when it comes to that. I'm just going to leave that as is. I'm not going to really throw up too much more criticism, other than the fact that Montreal has to do what it has to do. It did what it had to do last year, and Toronto had to go in and win that game by 4 goals. They won it by 5 goals. So Vancouver has to go into Montreal next week and win. I think they're going to be favorites to do so, but I don't think you're going to be hearing too many TFC fans being pissed off the way that the Whitecaps fans were last year. But that's it. One other quick thing before I upload this and hit the sack. I'm going to be out of town this weekend. I'm going to be missing my second TFC game in history. I'm going camping, and that's going to be a lot of fun, but I'm not going to be at the game on Saturday, and I won't be doing a video blog for the New England game, but I'll try to be posting a few things up until Friday before I head out for the long weekend. You guys have a wonderful, safe, happy long weekend, and let's hope the TFC can score some goals and get 3 points at home on Saturday. Cheers, and we'll talk to you all next week.